The specific newspaper I will be covering is the Los Angeles Times. Using ProQuest Historical Newspapers database, I was able to go all the way back to the earliest retrievable front page, which was from December 4th, 1881. This front page looks nothing like the ones I'm used to seeing. It is void of any kind of images or graphics, barring little symbols that are attached to advertisements. There are headlines that precede the most important and topical articles. However, they are not the big and bold headlines you'd see in today's papers. They are only a tad bit larger in font than the body text and only stand out because they are emboldened. Additionally, the columns are all equal in size and do not vary. What is most notable about the page is the equal division of editorial content and advertisements. The left half of the page is entirely editorial and the right side is solely advertisements. I found it strange that so much of the most important page of the paper could be dedicated to advertisements. The next front page I analyzed is from the day that lives in infamy. December 7th, 1941 was the day the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, and the issue is from the following day. I chose this specific article because I was curious to see how a catastrophic event was covered in real time. Here a drastic change in headlines can be seen. Gone are the small, barely bolded headlines from the past. These headlines are big and bold, and the main headline reads like a shout as it's in all caps. The paper also does not feature any images. However, it does tinker with column structure. There is much variation in column size and height, not to mention some columns cut into others and create a sense of overlap. This was arguably one of the most important issues of the Los Angeles Times ever, so it's possible they tried to squeeze as much information onto the page as possible. The importance of the news also meant that there were no advertisements featured on this page at all. It is solely concerned with the unfolding events of a global war. Now we fast forward about 34 years to April 29, 1975, and the front page begins to resemble something that I'm familiar with. The headlines are big, bold, and pronounced, and even vary in visibility due to the importance of their story. What's most notable here is the inclusion of photographs. The photos, both of which were in black and white because colored photos didn't begin to be featured in papers until around 1977, are of the chaos that's unfolding in Vietnam. The issue covers America's messy withdrawal from Vietnam, and that is far and away the most important topic featured. Photos give the paper a much more modern feel, and do a great job at elevating the stories they're attached to. Aside from the inclusion of photographs, the text also resembles a modern newspaper as well. The columns are all equally spaced and neatly distributed. The center column is wider than those on the sides, however the text is still equally spaced. The last and most recent front page in this analysis is from December 31st, 1997. Upon first glance, this paper does not stray far from the design and aesthetics of the one from 1975. It also features photos and the similar headline structure with varying bolded text. The most notable difference is in the bullet points that lie below the headlines of articles. The bullet points serve as a form of subheading and give the reader a brief preview or summation of what the article is about. It's interesting to see these quick-hitting tidbits featured all the way back in 1997 because it serves as almost a precursor to the way news is delivered today. Twitter and other outlets now dominate the news market, and they disseminate information in short, quick-hitting bursts. On the same note, it was interesting to see the website of the paper featured at the bottom of the page. I wonder if they had any idea how much the internet would change the way they tell the news.